Hello everyone, it is Jett Tattersall here. Welcome back to the Women in Pop podcast. Thank you very much for joining us today. Now, before we begin today's show, a quick reminder that Women in Pop magazine issue 17 is out now with the divine Celine Dion on the cover. This woman is just a goddess and an absolute legend. And across 10 pages, we explore her career from child star to the Queen of Vegas and finally the certified music icon she is today. We also have interviews with Amy Shark, Missy Higgins, Sophie Tucker and more. Plus, over 10 pages, we celebrate the 50-year anniversary of the mighty ABBA, winning the Eurovision Song Contest, beginning their march to global dominance and bringing the gorgeous voices of singers Agnetha and Frida into everyone's hearts. You can buy your copy now at womeninpop.com/subscribe or in a news agency near you. Now today, we welcome 3 incredible women in pop to the show. From the Supremes to Bananarama to Destiny's Child to the Spice Girls and Blackpink and beyond. The all-female group has been one of the most defining and influential aspects of pop music, and they can always be relied on to create pop music genius. Our guests today are no exception. First releasing music in 2022, their music is a delicious dive into synth and electronic pop that focuses not on just love and relationships, but the unbreakable bonds of friendship and joy of youth and just putting on those tunes and going, piss off world. They are undoubtedly one of the greatest young groups in Australia right now, and today they released their new EP, Racer, and they are here to tell us all about it. It is none other than Jade, Lauren and Miranda, better known as Blusher, ladies of Blusher. Hello and welcome to Women in Pop.
Wow, what an intro.
Oh, I am hyped after that.
My tyres are so pumped up.
Yeah. I also like that you all just went like ha in harmony.
Thank you.
This is beautiful. Now listen, heralded, as I just kind of shouted, as the holy trinity of homegrown women in pop. How did you 3 come together?
It's a beautiful love story. I met Lauren through a Zoom writing session. We were put together on this songwriting camp. It was during COVID, during lockdown. And we were like drinking the same tea and had all of the same taste in pop music. And it was just so nice to meet another pop girly in Melbourne. And yeah, it was like love at first song. And then Lauren introduced me to Miranda. We hadn't met each other before being in this band. And Lauren was like, I think you guys are going to get on really well. And she kind of put us in a group chat and was like, here you go, meet and become best friends. And it's been just such an amazing adventure ever since. It just happened so organically and came from a place of pure passion and just making, dance music and about, friendship. And it's been such an awesome journey.
Yeah, it's really cool. I feel like we kind of all knew each other just through the music scene. Like we all had solo projects and other bands before we met each other, and we kind of like all knew each other, knew of each other through the internet and just like the local kind of pop girlies, it's like a small community and scene. And then Lauren and I met in Brisbane at a gig, and we both had like separately moved to Melbourne, and then we all started writing, and Blusher was kind of our like fun side project after lockdown. We just wanted to really like collaborate a lot and also like make something really fun and happy, because I think we were all sitting in our bedrooms writing like depressing
so sad
indie folk music, but we were just like, let's just make something that makes people happy and forget about their problems and want to dance. And yeah, and then I think we did our first like photo shoot to put out our first song, and we got the photos back and we were like, oh, this is a band. Like
we look so cool.
Wow. It was like, this would be a really good band. And then it all happened like super spontaneously, which is cool.
Yeah, and I feel like in hindsight, it's like, obviously that is a great idea.
Yeah.
But I think for each of us, I guess for me in particular, when I was growing up, I kind of just saw that the path for a female musician was to be a solo artist and to be a singer. And I didn't even think to start a band like the boys were doing until later in life, where I was living with men, I was working with men, and I was kind of just at a place where I was like, I know of great women in music, but I'm not actually working with them. And so that was kind of the catalyst for setting up the girls. giving it a go.
I love that. And it's already so very Josie and the Pussycat.
Exactly.
Now, we did just speak about fun, and this is a band, and I actually just want to play my favourite on your EP. So this is Don't Look at Me Like That.
Woo.
You call me, you can't sleep, got a feeling, I know where this leads. Don't make it romantic, don't look at me like you're in love. Don't make it dramatic, don't look at me like that.
Seriously, EP favourite, and I'm sure anyone that's just listened is going to agree with me. This is the ultimate rom-com universe that you guys have created. Everything about this track I love. Please tell me where it came from and tell me what movie it would be.
I feel like it was your birthday, Lauren,
It
when
was
we
my
wrote this,
birthday.
so I think you need to take it away.
Okay, so it was my birthday, and we went for a walk that morning around the Hollywood Reservoir because it's nice to go for a nice walk on your birthday. And we were kind of, Jay had this concept that was based on a few personal stories.
Which we can all relate to.
Want to tell us about those personal stories without mentioning any names?
Oh, it was just when I think a few relationships I had that were, you know, a sort of friendship, but maybe the other person was wanting it to be more than that. And then, you know, it's really difficult because you maybe love this friendship and it's like, oh, why did you have to ruin it and make it, you know, weird? but sometimes like the tension of that, I mean, yeah, the tension of like the will they, won't they, like cinematic thing is such a fun thing to write about. And it's very like, yeah, I think gives it that rom-com feeling. It's like when two people are maybe like not allowed to make it more than friendship. It also feels like it kind of leans into that energy, but it can also just be about like, no, I do not want it to make it romantic. I do not, you know, this is just business and
Nothing more.
Depending where you're at,
Yeah, I can
interpret it with a flirtatious undertone.
Yeah, it sounds so like The Lady Doth Protest too much to me when I listen to it. I'm like, oh, they're so going to hook up.
Yeah.
Whatever these characters are. Yeah.
And I feel like that is the most, to me, that's the most exciting, like, trope, the crush of like, oh, we can't, we're both on like the team and the coach will kill us, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was kind of the catalyst for the concept, and we were working with someone from The Naked and Famous, which is one of my favorite bands. So I think that day I was like, I really want to write a good song today. It was like very, I don't know, all the stars kind of aligned when that chorus came together. We knew it was something special, so that's that one.
I think it's so cool. And again, you have this way of putting a song together, and that's why that, I guess, that reference of creating this universe that sounds familiar in the sense of it is comforting, and it does come from that rom-com world, and it does come from the dance floor, and it does come from a lot of nostalgia from, like, I'm sort of talking decades, from even late 80s into maybe jumping a little bit of the 90s and then going into that early 2000s sound. Like, it's definite soundtrack. But what you've done is put your pedal to the metal with it and made it that kind of intense sugar rush. That's what I feel like your music is. It's like, it's that, but on a sugar high. Does that sound about right? Like
100%.
A beautiful description.
Yeah.
Talking of that, I mean, you seem to have really coined, as you just said, like seeing that photo and you saw, oh my God, we look like a band. We are a band. Like everything just seemed to fall into place. It feels like it all came very natural, but at the same time, I imagine you worked very hard. Was that a bit of a surprise how very quickly your sound and your world and everything about it came together? Was it intentional, or did you just go, oh no, us three are meant to do this?
I feel like it's a little bit of both. Like, I think all three of us had a fair bit of experience as like songwriters and musicians previously. So I think like we had experimented a lot, and we really had like a very clear vision when we started writing together. You know, like if you picture the Venn diagram of each of our tastes and personalities and like histories of being in music meeting together in the middle, like it was just such a clear distillation of what Blusher is. Like it's kind of, we refer to it sometimes as like a fourth person that is just the combination of all of us. So it felt really like the vision was super clear from the start. But I think it's funny you say that, because it doesn't really feel super quick for us. I think it feels like, you know, we're being very intentional about it, but at the same time we're really intentional about like not taking it too seriously and like trying not to overthink it very much. Like we're just trying to be as authentic as we can and like do what's really fun for us and just let our taste and our curiosity like guide it. And it's lucky that it seems to resonate with people, because I feel like it's just kind of what we would be doing anyway. Yeah.
Can I ask you on that? I know that you all, as you just mentioned as well, you write, you sing, you produce, there's swapping of instruments. Someone in this room was a classic violinist.
That's
that
me.
guy. This guy. Amazing. I can't wait to hear that, by the way. Is there like this notion, I'm sort of talking particularly from that Australian perspective, and you said, oh God, I felt like there was no room for me because I was making, you said, I think, Lauren, I was making this music and I was a woman on her own and I felt like I had to be doing a singer-songwriter or just working with men. Was there maybe that also that fear of not just admitting, but going, I like pop, I think I can make pop, I think I can make it. Like, you know what I mean? Was that also possibly something holding you back because of the industry, particularly here, with its attitude to all the little space made
the
for
tall
pop
poppy
music?
sort of syndrome, for sure. Yeah, and I feel like that built our camaraderie as well. We were just like, we're, you know, shamelessly such huge, you know, pop fangirls, and I guess we had to kind of leave Australia together to really fulfill the dream that we all had, and it was just like bigger than the bubble. It can feel quite isolating in Australia sometimes, with obviously being an island and we're just floating around there. But I think it's nice to create something that we hope will inspire other women to, you know, make their own bands and like pave the way a bit for women who are just music nerds like us and want to do all of the roles, want to produce and want to write and, you know, have dance moves that they make up together on stage. And yeah, I guess I didn't really see a band like us when I was younger, so I guess I didn't really know it was an option, or I didn't really think of it as something that was possible, and was maybe, you know, doing the solo project, which is quite lonely at times, where you're just like, you're having to make all the decisions by yourself and you're just like questioning, you know, some of your choices. But then, yeah, once you enter a collaborative relationship, it's like, oh my God, so many amazing possibilities and doors open. And yeah, so I feel like as soon as we met each other, I think the horizons broadened so much, and we were like, wow, we're just limitless together.
Wow.
That's a beautiful way to
I'm going to cry, Jay. Oh my God. Yeah.
And you did just say it. I mean, you were like, oh, I didn't have these women. I'm going to go into it a bit later, those bands that clearly you then joined forces with. But I want to also play Last Man Standing.
I could stay here very small forever. Nothing else matters if we're together. You were where we met, put it to the test. Place all your bets on me. When they're sleeping at the club and the lights are coming up, I'll be your number one, last man standing. Just keep dancing here with me. We don't ever
Now, I'm getting ABBA. I'm getting Twice.
Cool.
This is like, I'm even getting a little Mandy Moore. Oh, God, I love it. All on a Carnival Date. And again, you balance that beautiful, in a completely honouring way, girlish vulnerability. And almost dialed up a notch. Like it's almost a parody of that. And then you team it with this full-blown ass-kicking joy. It's like marrying the woman and the girl. That's what it feels like.
Oh, that's
how do you walk that line emotionally and creatively?
wow. The woman and the girl. I feel like it's also, like the child and the adult as well. We always talk about, like, I feel like you have to go into a really playful childlike state when you're in the studio and you're creating. But we also, I guess we want to like take the sophistication of womanhood, and I love the way you put that, how it's like combined with girlhood. And I feel like we are kind of right in that in-between place, age-wise, and where we are with our lives. And I think it's been such a great place in life to start the band, because we are quite in between the sort of girl and woman eras. And with that song, Last Man Standing, it is such a just like joyous, shameless, like huge like amplification of love for your friends and love for music, and being so determined and passionate about something, and like not caring what anyone else thinks. How do we toe the line?
I feel like that's such a beautiful way that you just put it, and like nobody has really mentioned that in that way before, but something that I often think about, which may be controversial take, but like in our society, in our society in general, like especially recently, there's been a lot of talk about girly, like it's girl math, it's like girl dinner, it's like girl everything. And I feel like that's awesome, because I think we need to move in that direction of like celebrating things that are girly and like not being ashamed to like Pink and pop music and like everything like that. But I think that in general we could use a little bit more like womanhood, and like, you know, I can picture us in the future writing about like having kids and, you know, things that aren't traditionally like a cool hot girl band thing to write about. But I think because I think we're artists first and like girl band second for sure, each of us. So I think that kind of matters a little bit more to us, you know. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. I feel like it's very like girl and less woman in the world today. So it's really, really cool to like hear that you got that out of it, which is really nice. But I feel like a good part of this band is like we're all kind of also healing our like inner girl through it, you know.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that, because there's a thing that we search for in our fiction, in our music, in the culture we consume. And I think a big part of that is replaying those moments that we went, oh, fuck.
Oh, my God.
And making it cooler in our memory. And so I think a way to do that is by having a song and having a queen or having a pair of queens, or, a triplet of queens to be able to sing those moments for you. And it's, you know, it's that whole classic thing of like, if you don't see it, you're not going to be it. Yeah. And that extends any kind of social barrier. But it's even as personal as like, oh, God, I just like, that's the person I want to grow into. And it's there's got to be that bridging. It can't just be full blown Beyonce, which we all want, but she's very far away from a lot of us. You know what I mean? And so exactly that, the bridging of the girl and the woman, and I think you guys are hitting it on the head. Speaking of Beyonce, we're just going to talk about her for one after you've mentioned that in Blusher, no one's a Beyonce. Everyone is a Beyonce.
We're all the Beyonce. That's okay.
You could say everyone's like a Chris Martin, but that's a bit blunt. Beyonce. Yeah. Talk to me about how that philosophy influences your process.
I mean, in the least egotistical way possible, we're all the Beyonce. We're all, not quite the Beyonce, but it's a very equal approach, and we you know, I think like from the very start we were like, none of us are like the main front person or like the main one to talk in interviews or the main one to kind of do anything. Like we share pretty much everything, which is nice.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're just all way too talented.
You hear that, Kelly and Michelle?
I think it's just, because we were solo artists individually for so long, there's so many skills that you develop and there's so much potential in that. And a big part of this band is just empowering each other to, I don't know how to say it in a non-cheesy way, but shine.
Shine.
Like,
Shine bright.
it's so enjoyable to watch the girls, you know, perform and be their most Beyonce selves. I enjoy that almost as much as being Beyonce myself.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, really a really good perk. And the other perk is that you don't have to be Beyonce all the time.
Only
That's a
1/3
really
of the
good
time.
point.
Yeah.
That's a
You can
I
hang
only
back.
have to sing a third of the show.
It's
just
awesome. Yeah.
That's, no one ever thinks how stressful that must be to be Beyonce all the time. You guys are just really, that's a talking point. Before I leave, and we are speaking of groups, but I got to say, I mean, Halsey, Sugar Babes, Tovlo, like, come on. You recently wrapped the Kick-Ass North American tour with Noted, like, and then your own headline tour selling out. This is huge, and these are huge people, and this is very exciting and very cool, and again, very Josie and the Pussycats. What do you most enjoy about performing in live, and how do those interactions, not just with the artists you're touring with, but also the audience, the reaction from the audience, how does that charge you and I guess feed your writing process?
Yeah, we definitely love to like road test songs live before we finish them off, and it kind of informs a lot of the choices that we make with like production. But we really from the start like wanted our live show to just be the best that it possibly could, and I think we kind of threw everything at it. You know, we were like, we're going to play instruments, we're going to do choreography, we're going to like all swap places, we're going to go to the shop and buy wireless microphones before we do a show so that it can all just be like so good and so set. And we want it to just feel like a really big party, and seeing the feedback from the crowd that the party is translating is always like the most satisfying thing. And I feel like we've done a lot of like support slots where nobody knows who we are really. You have to very much like gain people's trust within the first little while to get them on board. And so our live show is kind of designed to be like, come along, let go of your cringe muscle and just like have a good time. And it's really cool to see like from the beginning of the set people not being quite so sure about it, and then by the end of the set, you know, there'll be like a group of 5 22-year-old straight men with the blusher sunnies on and like just absolutely loving it, like getting into, they're like, oh, I love girl bands now. So that's really satisfying.
Love the challenge of winning over a crowd.
Hell
It's
yeah.
my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I love that, and you're right, that is one of your toughest audiences.
Yeah.
It is one of your toughest audiences. Before I have to wrap it up, you guys have obviously kicked ass in the last, particularly 12 months has been insane. Tell me, what has been your most surreal moment in amongst the blusher mayhem?
That's a good question.
We've talked about this before, but I think it's just the weirdest thing that's ever happened. We did a DJ set on top of a mountain in Japan, which was very surreal, and that was something that we'll never forget. And it was like snowing, and all of these people were just like dancing in their ski gear, and that was a very unique experience, and one of those moments where we just like look to each other, and it's so nice to have people that you're going through that with to just look at and be like,
What
what
heck?
is this? This is
What's
crazy.
going on?
But that was a pretty surreal one.
Yeah. This is a really mundane answer, but like honestly, just like today is like, you know, we went to a runway show for Fashion Week this morning, and then we've just been like at Triple J doing interviews, and we like filmed some content, and we just have like a whole day of interviews where we just talk about our music and like other music that we love. And I feel like that at the end of the day, you go home and you like take your outfit off and you're just like, wow, I dreamed about doing this for so long, and that's just like a normal kind of experience now. And it like never stops being surreal to just get to do the kind of more mundane parts of the job. Like even when you're on tour and you're just sitting in a van for 8 hours, but then you arrive and you get to like play a show, just the mundane parts are like also very cool.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the whole experience of it is quite surreal. Like at any point, I can just like step back and be like, "Oh my goodness,
wow. Yeah.
When will I wake up and be back at my day job and be told that it was all a dream?" But I think for me personally, I have really surreal moments when we write a song that I just know is core to us. I think I definitely had that moment with Last Man Standing, with Don't Look at Me Like That. I, like, we'll be in the studio all day and you're kind of just at, you've focused on it, you're kind of going, like, you're in a particular headspace, and then you get out of that headspace and go for a walk around the block and listen to what you made. And those are the moments where I'm just like, oh, this is a dream song, this is, like, what I always wanted, is songs like this. So yeah, there's so many things that I think are out of our wildest dreams. And today someone asked, how do you know when you'll have made it? And we were all kind of like, well,
it's now.
Here we are, aren't we?
Yeah, thanks for changing the goalpost, dude.
Yeah. It's funny because like we're also like so ambitious right now as well. Like we want like to take it as far as we possibly can and like write the best possible songs and play the craziest shows that we can. And Jade wants to win a Grammy. And I mean, we all do, but the Grammy, yeah. But at the same time, like we are so, if like it had to end today, we're like, hell yeah, we did that,
This is as far as it gets.
We did so good. It's been a pleasure, guys.
What a ride.
We're getting so earnest.
Yeah. You guys have just taken my my next line for me. Pleasure, it's been a pleasure. It actually has been such a pleasure having you all here today. Thank you so much for joining me on this monumentous day. Listeners, Blush's new EP, Racer, you've just heard a little bit, is out now, and you can buy it, download it, and stream it on all platforms. Before we go, a quick reminder that issue 17 of Women in Pop magazine with the glorious Celine Dion is on the cover, and it's out right now, and it features interviews with Amy Shark, Missy Higgins, Sophie Tucker, and so much more. Buy your copy now at a news agency near you or at womeninpop.com/subscribe. Thank you for listening today. Until next time, from myself and Blusher, goodbye.
Bye.